Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
Hari Om. Vishveshwaraha, one who is the Lord of the whole universe. In fact, not just this one universe, many such universes. So one who is the Lord of the multiverse is the supreme infinite pure consciousness, who is Lord Shiva. So as the Lord of the whole universe, creation, sustenance and destruction is done by the Lord. That is one meaning. Second meaning is, if there is the Vishwa, if there is an effect, there has to be an intelligent cause of that effect. That intelligent cause of the effect, which is the world, is the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, we tend to think that the world has come on its own. There is no God. There is no creator. Or we think that the world is created, sustained and destroyed by nature. So 5 elements. Even in science, one believes that it is just the evolution of matter and there is no cosmic intelligence behind this universe. Vedanta clearly says that there is a cosmic intelligence. The intelligent cause of the universe is what we call as God. We may personify that infinite intelligent cause so that we are able to relate to that infinite cause through the form. But there is an intelligent cause of the universe. Because by itself nature is inert, the 5 elements are inert. What is it that enlivens this whole universe? That consciousness is the cause of the whole universe. So if there is an effect, there has to be a cause. If the world is the effect, there is an intelligent cause, which is God. And where is that God? The cause alone pervades the effect. The effect is nothing but cause in another form. So this whole Vishwa itself is the appearance of the divine. So not only Vishveshwaraha means the Lord of the universe, it also means the Lord who appears as the universe. Vishva eva Ishvaraha. So we don't have to search God somewhere up there. God is all pervasive, in and out, everywhere the Lord alone is. The intelligent cause pervades. Like the potter is the intelligent cause. The mud, the wheel, they are only the material and the instrumental cause. If we deny the intelligent cause, we are saying that the mud and the wheel come together by itself and the pot gets produced. In this whole creation, we see so much of sophistication. There are such systems here. Each and every being, if we think about it, how does the system function in each and every organism? Everyone's equipments are different, capabilities are different, and yet the systems have been made so beautifully. So everywhere we see there is an expression of a supreme intelligence. That intelligent cause of the universe is the Supreme Lord. And where do we find that intelligent cause? Though the Lord is pervading everywhere, that intelligent cause is in our own heart. That Vishveshwaraha is in our own heart as the self, as the pure consciousness, without which this whole BMI will be nothing. So the third law of cause and effect says, from the effect, if you remove the cause, the effect disappears. What if we remove from us? We will not be there. It is existence. Existence, if you remove, we become non-existent. So that existence, consciousness, bliss is one. That is Supreme Ishvara. That alone is the intelligent, material, as well as the instrumental cause of the whole universe. Abhinna nimitta upadana karana we call. So not only that this word tells us that there is an intelligent cause of the universe, it also says that that intelligent cause pervades the whole universe. And where can that intelligent cause be realized? In our own heart as our own true self. Mud pervades every single aspect of the pot. Same way, intelligent cause pervades the whole universe, including all of us. And this can be recognized in our own heart as the core of our personality, as our true self. So may that Supreme Lord bless us with more and more faith in Him, and may we realize that Supreme Lord in our heart. Puja Gurudev explains with a beautiful analogy these three laws of cause and effect.
So then, as I said, when once they understood these three laws, they applied it to the universe. There is a world of names and forms that I am seeing here in the world. There must be a cause for it. Why? The first law. An effect cannot be without a cause. I cannot be without a father. Therefore, this universe must have a father. Boom, 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 boom. Swamiji, this we have heard. From childhood onwards we have been hearing that there is a God. The God created the world and the God is the father of the world. Where is that God? Who is he? What is he? Where is he? 100 questions rise. And the student asks all these questions together in one sentence to the teacher. The teacher smiles. And the teacher says, Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Why? If you get excited, you cannot think. Thinking is a process only when mind is at peace. If you want to know where that God is, the cause of the universe, let us apply the second law. The second law says, are cause itself in different form. So the cause, the creator, the Lord, is not sitting comfortably enjoying in the heavens, and he creates us like manufacturers manufacturing products and throwing it into the market. He himself has become the universe. He is the gold in the ornament. He is the ocean in the waves. He is the clay in the pots. The Lord is the cause of the universe. When you say everything in this universe is pervaded by him, he is in every one of you. How do you mean he is in every one of you? There is no God in me. So said the mud pot. I saw the mud pot one day in India with a walking stick going along. I said, hello potty, where are you going? The potty said, I am going to Benares, Kashi. Why? To meditate and realize clay. The cause of all mud pots. I said, Vaya, sit down. What are you? I am a pot. But how are you a pot? That is because, Ramayya occupies me. I belong to Ramayya. Hey, Ramakrishna, anybody. I am Mr. Jones pot. I am a yellow pot. I am a big pot. I am a small pot. I am a honey pot. My dear man, you are talking what is the contents in you. You are talking about the color around you. You are talking to me about the possessor of the pot. But what are you? I am a pot. What is a pot? Pot is a pot, a container which contains various things. See? How far is the clay from the pot? How far is the gold from the ornament? How far is the ocean from the waves? So far can only be you from the cause. Call him God or reality or truth or Father in heaven or Buddha or call him Allah. What does it matter? The source of the whole universe is essentially present in the universe. It's not a source, a raw material there. And the God, the creator, is a manufacturer. He manufactures and sends it there. In that case, that manufacturer is an incompetent manager. Why? He already knows that the market is flooded. And why is he creating again? Huh? No intelligent producer will produce it when the market is already flooded with your product. Will he not control the production? It is not. Just as in the dream you see the world of plurality, All that plurality that you are seeing is only your own mind. Similarly, that higher state of consciousness in different form is the world of plurality. Swami, if that's God is in me, tell me which is God in me? Liver, pancreas, kidney, or my heart? Which is the God? Let us apply the third law. From the effect, and the cause is removed, nothing remains. From you, if something is gone, next day morning onwards, you don't exist. What is that? Oh, that must be my nose. Without a nose you can survive, and a plastic surgeon can supply you with a nose. Oh, it must be ears. Without ears you can do. Hands, legs. See? But when one's life is out of you, whoever you are, whatever the cause by which it is gone, is it not that you are not here among us? You are wiped out. Whoever you be, rich or poor, a congenital idiot or a genius. Where is Einstein now? See? All people. One's life is gone, is wiped out. All of you are existing here now, and I am here sitting and talking to you only because life is in all of us. That one life, which is in the heart of all, is the Lord of the universe. Minus him there is no universe or world at all. No activity is nothing. That mighty reality, God, is essentially in every one of you. As the spark of life, the light of existence, the lamp of knowledge, the pure touch of consciousness. That consciousness life in you, we cannot produce it in the laboratory as a sample, as an object, in a test tube. Here is God. Now please pass it on. Everybody may see it. Oh, this is God. It cannot be shown. Each one will have to realize it because it is in your depth. It can be realized only an inside and not outside. And therefore, though we know we are alive, is there anybody here who has got a doubt whether you are alive or not? You know you are alive. What is life? That I don't know. Because we know only expressions of life. But there is life in us, we know, all of us know, no doubt about it. That life, which we know it is there, but we don't know what it is indicated in the science of philosophy by the symbol O. In arithmetics, when you don't know a thing, you say, let us be X. In science, what you don't know, we say that let it be gamma or beta or theta. In philosophy, we say that let it be O. So O means that secret, sacred presence, because of which all of us are working and functioning. What it is, we don't know. To discover it is called the science or technology in spirituality.
Om Namah Shivaya.